Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and we're going to be talking about what is going on at the moment, where are we at, what's some of the news that has been going on, and more importantly, what is happening with this price range, right? So where are we heading? Just when you think that we're about to go back into 30,000, boom, a volume hits. So let's go over everything that's going on at the moment. FX Streets kicks us off today with, top three predictions: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. Where are we going? The Bitcoin price, is it rallying? Are we going down a little bit before we go up? Same with Ethereum. What's going on there with the price of Ethereum, and, what can we expect? And where are we going next? And then we go into Ripple, and we, talks about, how it's ranging at the moment and where could we be going next before we make that decisive leg up. So very, very fascinating, and very much divided community out there at the moment between are we going up or are we going down. I did mention this a couple of nights ago, and I think what we're doing at the moment is really getting us ready for the next leg, for the next phase. And there is a lot of talk at the moment going on there in the financial world that the whole market is overinflated, and I want to mention that while this isn't a channel about the stock market is still relevant when it comes to the cryptocurrency market, right? Because one goes down, the other one's going to go down with it. So over here, we talk about, Dow Jones on the daily, it's performing a head and shoulder pattern, it's emerging. And once this is formed, there will be a technical indicator for the big crash. So we've heard, seen, and many, many people have spoken about the stock market being overinflated and crashing. We've also heard from numerous YouTubers and TikTokers about a great reset, a world reset, and, the reserve currency of the world generally on average changes every about 100 to 120 years, give or take. I mean, are we in the biggest shifter of wealth that we've ever seen? Is this going to be one of those years where it will go down in the history books? I think so. Where is the stock market heading? And is this big black swan event about to happen? It does depend on a couple of factors, right? I mean, we all know that the entire world is overinflated, right? Like there's trillions and trillions of dollars in debt worldwide. But can they keep it going a little bit longer before they crash it, right? We heard about September being the stock market crash. Generally, when people talk September, it means earlier. So is July this so-called market crash? We will keep a very, very, very close eye on all of this because all of it is really, really relevant when it comes to the crypto market. And I would love to know in the comments below as well, what do you think about this particular topic? Because it is a topic that we have to discuss, because if that will impact the crypto market. And if it impacts the crypto market, how will it impact the crypto market? Well, initially bearish, and then it will kick off a bullish run for blockchain. Blockchain is not going anywhere. The cryptocurrency world is not going anywhere. But we do have to look at that, right? Now, I like what Charles has mentioned here about this particular formation. And this particular market structure is, very common pattern, long term, right? So this is a long term structure that can lead us to the next greater heights. Now, the way that he drew it means that he's saying that we'll go like past $3.30, $4. It'll be a lot more than that once we break the all-time high. Like I said, I think $14 is very, very achievable. Now, when we look at the 4 hour and what's going on at the moment, once we do find our bottom, which will be 58, 54, maybe even 50, if we do indeed end up going down, we will then obviously have $1.02 and $1.18 as the first initial targets that we have to break above. They're very, very, very important. Very, very important. Now, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, the FinCEN, has appointed the first ever chief cryptocurrency advisor. The reason I bring you this type of information is because I just want you to understand that blockchain, cryptocurrency, it's not going anywhere. Like literally not going anywhere. And moments like these, and more and more companies taking blockchain on board and more things being adopted on the blockchain, we are very early. I shared a couple of nights ago, how they thought that Amazon was a pyramid scheme back in the 2000s. I mean, if you think about that 21 years later, it's like, what? That's just insane. And that's where we're at. I feel that, as much as we've made a lot of progress with cryptocurrency since 2008, we are still so early. Like I mentioned, go speak to 100 people and talk to them, what is blockchain? I mean, maybe 3 or 4, if you're lucky, will actually be able to give you a proper answer to what that is. Let's go into Atani. Let's see what Atani is telling us. Okay, so as we jump into Atani at the moment, we can have a look at on the daily. So on the daily, from a volume point of view, we can see that the volume is still strong from the MACD from a daily perspective, especially where we are right now, which is 67 cents, is only 0.86%, less than 1% down on the 24-hour mark. And, Ethereum, Binance Coin, there's quite a lot of them at the moment that are working quite well. Chainlink is actually, doing pretty good. It's sitting above 20 at the moment, almost 21. And so very different to the day that I thought we were going to have. And then part of the reason is because of the volume that we've had over the last couple of hours that we've been actually making some moves. And so the volume is increasing and we are getting more like the MACD on the day, on the hourly for XRP is quite strong at the moment from a volume perspective. When we go into 4 hours, we were bearish. We're about to go like almost dead even, and then perhaps we can go a little bit more on the upside. When we look at the 12-hour, we are sitting almost flat, but you can look at the volume. I mean, there is hardly any volume there, and that is obviously to be considered. And when we look at the volume at the moment on the MACD from a daily perspective, it is very low volume. So there isn't that much volume going on at the moment. And from an RSI perspective, we are sitting more into the oversold than the undersold. Sorry, we're sitting more in the undersold than oversold. And so very, very, hard at the moment to just look at these indicators and go with it. I still think we have some room to go down before we go up. And I'm going to stick with that at the moment because it would be counterintuitive at the moment to go against the trend, right? They say that the house always wins. Well, when you try and overcomplicate things and you try and make things more complicated than they actually are, that's when you start to lose out. So if you are trying to go against the house or go against the trend, then you generally get wrecked. And so at the moment, from the way that I see it from now, I see we still got some room to go down before we go up. But let's have a look at some drawings. Let's see what they tell us. So when we look at the charts and we kick off with this particular chart formation at the moment, this is the XRP versus Bitcoin chart. And what I can see from where we're going at the moment to where we're going to go is that, we probably, like I said, do have a little bit more to go down before we go up and rally. And so that is an important thing to look at from a statistics point of view, because that could definitely play out. Now, when we go further and look at, what's been going on, and this is like since May, right? The kind of thing that we're building up and building up and building up. And I think the next leg will be absolutely massive. So could 52 be touched again? Maybe. Well, we could potentially go 52, but, you also have to consider that looking at from this way, then that magical 44 cents that a lot of people are talking about could also be the case. So we need to be prepared for that. I did explain this and this sort of formation that is building at the moment before we rally up. And I also want to reassure you that we're not going anywhere. The market, the stock market going down and things happening and all that. That is temporary, because blockchain's here to stay. XRP, the mission, what they're up to, how they're doing, how they're going about it. All the companies that are starting to use it every single day. So there's still, like my mind on $13.5, $14 by the end of the year is still there. From a price action point of view, what we're looking for, it would be nice if we could go have a retest at 65 cents and then jump up. But we will wait. We will wait patiently and see. Are we going up or are we going down? That is the question. I'd love to know in the comments below what you think. And if you do enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.